Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull on the New Heroes Engage banner. I think that this is an amazing way to start launch week, and I am so excited to pull today. So we will talk about this banner as we go along, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I think that our plan for today is going to be to pull greens and blues and maybe some reds. I feel like if we get up to like a super high pity weight, we should probably not pull reds, but we'll just see how it goes. But in terms of the characters that I want the most on this banner, I have to say that Celine and Alfred are at the top of my list. When I first saw the trailer for Fire Emblem Engage, like after I got over the shock that like Toothpaste Chan was real, I looked at all the characters and I noticed Celine immediately. She was like immediately my favorite character. I think that her design is absolutely amazing. I think that she's going to be a kind and just wonderful character, and she's friends with Celica, which is great. And she also has an amazing VA. I was super excited that she shares a VA with Leanne. And so if we get to 40 and we don't get anything, I have no idea what I'm going to do because I also want to get her brother. When I looked at all the cast of characters, he was another standout for me. I think that he has an amazing design. And I have to say that I was very surprised by the way he was in Forging Bonds. Actually, for both of them, they definitely both subverted my expectations. For some reason, because he resembles Dimitri, I thought he was going to be a little bit more serious. But from what I have seen so far, he is nothing like Dimitri. Oh my goodness, like nowhere near. And I really don't know how to feel about it. I tend to like the more serious characters, like in terms of the husbandos, and I don't think that he really fits that. So I'm kind of reserving judgment at this point, but at the end of the day, I do love his design, and I think that he's also going to be very, very useful as a rearmed hero. The fact that he is limited, it makes me want to definitely spark for him so that I can get at least 1 or 2 copies because there's so many characters that want his lance. I'm not sure who I would give it to at this point because there are so many, but Hilda, like the winter one, is at the top of my list because I just love mine and I would love to give her like a real like PRF type weapon. So yeah, those are definitely the 2 characters that I want to get the most. And then I would say like for third, I'd probably say Alear, which might be surprising because I have talked about Alear in the past and my thoughts on their design. However, in Faye, I think that the art is super cute. I love Amagaitaro as an artist. And I have to say, I'm going into this with an open mind because in the Forging Bonds, like I really didn't think that Alear was bad. I thought that they were like fairly charismatic, and I'm a little bit hopeful that they're going to take a more active role in the story. And they also have like a great VA. So for all those reasons, I'm keeping an open mind. Who knows, like maybe at the end of this, I will be like a huge Alear fan. I don't know. So I will be pulling reds, like at least in the beginning. And even if like I don't end up liking Alear later down the road, the fodder is amazing. So I feel like it's worth it. And so I've covered those 3, but I also wanted to bring up Chloe. And I think that her art is absolutely beautiful. They like totally captured her in Faye. But I will say that she's probably my least wanted character on the banner. I don't love that she shares with Alfred because I really want to get Alfred. And she's also not a character that really stood out to me in like the entire cast of characters. Like I appreciate that she's loyal to Celine, that is amazing, and I like that she likes fairy tales, but I'm really like reserving judgment at this point until we meet all the characters. But overall, I think there were a lot of great choices for the banner. While I would have preferred to see Ivy and Diamant because those are my other favorites, I'm going to be patient because I know that we will see them eventually. And so now I think that I've covered all the characters, and so we can probably go ahead and answer our viewer questions. And as always, if I did not get to your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So our first question today comes from Maurice Saturn32, and they ask, who did you vote for CYL7? Okay, so I probably didn't do the smartest thing in my voting strategy. I voted for like a different character every day. But, you know, this isn't like last year where I was like really gunning for Crom. This year, there are just like so many characters that I would love to see. So I just kind of split up all the votes. And so I voted for Sigurd because he is one of the ones that I really want to see this year. I really don't know if he'll make it, but I want to see him. And I voted for Hilda because I love Hilda. And every year, oh my goodness. That is Jabarn. You know what? I will take that, especially since he doesn't break the pity. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is plus defense. That is great. So we will just keep going and getting back to this very lucky question from Maurice. I was saying that every year I do give a vote to La Rochelle, even though I know that she will never win. I just do it as like a reminder to IS that she exists. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? I am so excited to see her. That art is really cute. Okay, let's check IVs. And those are blurst IVs. My gosh. But you know what? I'm happy to have her. And from this point on, I don't think that we really should pull too many reds unless we have like a circle full of reds. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. But getting back to Maurice's very, very lucky question, I was saying that I vote for La Rochelle every year just to remind IS that she exists and that maybe she can get another alt. And then I also voted for female Corin. I voted for Xander, and I think that I voted for Alencia. I don't know if I covered all the days of voting, but I'm pretty sure that those are all the characters that I voted for. And hopefully we see at least one of them, but at this point I'm pretty sure that we're going to see Snake Lady. that's my feeling of what's going to happen. And I have a lot of feelings about that, but we'll just see how it goes. But thank you again, Maurice, for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Magius. And they ask, would you consider playing Xenogears? Yes, I absolutely would. However, I want it to be more accessible because as of right now, I feel like I probably have to go through some hoops to play it. So I would want it to be ported to something that's easy for me to play just because I am very, very lazy and I don't want to jump through a bunch of hoops. But I love the Xenoblade universe and I want to know more about it, and I would love to play Xenogears if it were easily available. But thank you for that great question. Okay, please be saline. Okay, smoke. That is not saline. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull these blues and we'll answer another one. And this comes from Hammy. And they ask, if S supports are implemented into Engage, who will you be marrying besides Walmart Dimitri? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So yes, initially Alfred was like at the top of my list for his bondos. And I hate to say this, but like after meeting him, I don't know if that's going to be the case. However, I do have someone in mind, and that is Diamant. I think that he has like one of my favorite designs overall. It is just so well done. And I love that he seems to be a more serious character. I also love what I've heard of his voice so far. He gives me a lot of Xander vibes. And so unless he commits like some really horrible war crimes, hopefully that is not the case. I'm pretty sure that he is going to be the #1 husbando. But if he does something like really terrible and I don't like him, and I also don't like Alfred for some reason, I guess then Fogato is up. Which, you know, it's really a shame because I love his 2D art. I think it's so handsome, but I feel like something is lost for him in 3D. I don't know what it is. But, you know, I'm going to withhold judgment at this point. We haven't really met any of them yet. But as of right now, Diamant holds my heart. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Wisdom. And they ask, if you had the power to summon one character from each Fire Emblem game like Alear, which characters would you choose? Okay, I think that I'm going to have probably like the most boring answers ever, but let's go. So we'll start with Shadow Dragon, and I would choose Sheeta. And then for Shadows of Valentia, I would go with Celica. And then for FE4, you know, I think it would be a tie between Sigurd and Ethlin because I love them both equally. And then for Thracia, that is easy, I would choose Finn. And then for FE6, I would choose Lilina, and to be perfectly honest, I was kind of sad that she was not the rep, although it totally makes sense for Roy to be the rep, but I'm hoping that maybe she'll get DLC in the future. And then for FE7, I would choose Sarah. And then for Sacred Stones, easy answer, of course it would be La Rochelle. And then for Path of Radiance, oh, there she is. And then for Path of Radiance, I think that I would go with Alencia. And then for Radiant Dawn, I would also go with Alencia, but if I had to pick someone different, I would choose Micaiah. And then for Awakening, I would go with Chrom, although I think that Lucina is an amazing choice too. And then for Fates, super easy answer, it would be Xander. And then lastly, for Three Houses, I think that it would be a tie between Marianne and Claude. But thank you for that great question. And we get a comb. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this next blue. I really, really hope that it's Alfred because I do not want to have to choose between him and his sister. So let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this comes from King Candy. And they ask, what characters would you like to see in a future Tellius banner? And what do you think about the way IS has treated Leo and Faye? Okay, so for an upcoming Tellius banner, I would love to see Lucia finally get added to Faye. I think that she is my number 2 most wanted character who we don't have yet. And I also want to see her brother. I would love to pair him with Alencia. I would love to see what his art would look like in Faye. So I would definitely want to see those two. And I think that it would be perfect if they added Alencia as like an ascended unit on that type of banner. And then to round it out, even though like it really doesn't make sense in terms of like a character to add, I would probably go with Adult Boyd just because I feel like he should be here. And then as for your second question about Leo, I feel like it has been a crime against Leo the way that he's been treated. I feel like he was not a bad character in Fates. Like I felt like he was very usable, and he's been so shafted in Fate. It's been so unfair. And so I'm really hoping at some point that he gets like either rearmed or ascended or legendary or something, because this is just so unfair. So yeah, that's how I feel about him. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Firefly Gaming 0703. And they ask, what is your opinion on Kaya, Mona, Bennett, Ningguang, and Arataki? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I am so excited that she came home. That art is adorable. And we hit 40, but we have to check IVs. And she is plus res minus attack, but I love her anyway. You know, I really don't think that res is bad for her, so I'm super happy with that. And getting back to this very lucky question from Firefly Gaming, they asked about my feelings on Ningguang and Arataki Ito as well. Oh, okay. You know what? Shamir is not a bad pull, so I'll take it. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus res. I will take that too. And just to finish up this very lucky question, my thoughts on Kaya, I think that he is like the male version of Lisa, not my favorite. As for Mona, I like her as a character, but I hate it when she pity breaks me. As for Bennett, I think that he is precious and I love using him, but I hate the little exclamation point next to his icon. Ningguang, I don't love her personality, but I love using her. And Arataki Ito is super fun, but I do not have him. But thank you for that very lucky question. So let's back out and we can go ahead and spark. And of course, we have to take Alfred. Super easy choice. Oh my goodness. I absolutely adore his art. It is just perfect. And we get the thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and end things here. I got really everybody on my wish list, so I am so happy with how this went. And if you are pulling on this banner, I hope that you get everybody that you are looking for. I did want to say a huge thank you to everybody that submitted questions. I can't make these videos without you, so thank you so much. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.